We are live. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. You guys are here. You know the routine. We're going to come here. We're going to get live. Make sure the audio is good. Fix the hair a little bit, so I don't look too terrible. Make sure the audio is good. Oh, heavens. Fix the hair a little bit, so I don't look too terrible. Got home from work super late today, so I was not able to do everything I wanted to do. But welcome to Missouri Live, episode 20. Episode freaking 20. This is insane. We are here to talk about. No, Jordan Kyrus got killed. We're here to talk about the Missouri Tigers. Missouri Tigers Live, episode 20. Missouri Live, baby. We're back. We're here to talk, and there's actually some news this week. I told you there would be. People are started committing, but we're going to start off with the big one. The thing Mizzou's been hunting for, and what's going to be kind of the notable name of every recruiting class. Gavin Sadwar commits to the University of Missouri. He's a 3-star kid. Mizzou gets a commitment from him over over some, like, Kansas State was in there. He had a lot of places he wanted to go. 247 has a 3-star. Their composite has him as a 4-star. So certainly a talented kid that will now be playing football, next year for the Missouri Tigers. Say Indiana was on his list, Maryland, other schools. So I'm not stunned. Missouri kind of struck out with a lot of the top QB targets that it kind of wanted. As we've talked about before on the show, with Matt Zollers' commitment, Matt Zollers was a huge piece for Eli. They worked really hard to get him. They battled, they fought, and they did bring him in. And there's a lot of hype around this kid. If you're a kid in the 26 class, you have to – and Mizzou did just offer a kid in the 27 class, which I'm old, man. I'm getting so old. Which it was going to be difficult for anybody in the 26 class to really – it was going to be difficult to really grab anybody in that 26 class because – like you're okay, so you're going to be behind the kid that the Missouri coaching staff is hyped up now for almost a year. I hate these cats. It was just going to be difficult. So good on them for getting a kid that they liked, that they were in on pretty early. And they got a quarterback for the 26 class. Now they can build out the rest of the class, which is proving to be a bit difficult. As time has gone on here, but we still do have a long ways away before early signing day. And that's really all I got to say about it. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert on him. I've watched some film. Looks like he has a prototypical arm, prototypical size. He's just really raw. There's a reason he's a 3-star / low 4-star compared to a 5-star, but Mizzou certainly made work with those guys in the past. So congratulations to him. And we'll see. Hopefully he's a good Missouri Tiger. Then it'll transfer in 2 years, but whatever. And commitment news as well. Xavier Lloyd, transfer from the University of Illinois State University. I went to Western Illinois, so I should know Illinois State. The Redbirds. He has committed, according to Matt Zenitz. He's 6'2". He kind of began his career at Kansas State. Last year for the Redbirds, he caught 66 balls for 912 yards and 6 touchdowns. A little confused by this one. He didn't show a lot in 2 years at Kansas State. He only caught 1 pass. He made 1 visit. It was to Mizzou. So obviously Eli really likes what he sees there. Other teams that apparently had contacted him were Oklahoma, like Louisville, West Virginia, Duke, Wisconsin. So he was a coveted kid. I'm not sure. He's the 9th receiver they've got on the roster for for this season, and I understand they liked him, but part of me doesn't get why they went out and got a receiver. Like, Jacob Peeler is known for his ability to recruit and develop wide receivers. Mizzou's done a really nice job developing wide receivers since Eli's gotten there. Even in the struggle years, Dominic Lovett was a really nice piece. Toski Doves and Kiki Chisholm have seen time in the UFL after being 0-star prospects. So I'm not sure. Like, this is supposed to be your thing. You got to start playing the guys you recruited. And I know they lost Crutchfield, and that hurts. So maybe this is just a straight-up replacement for him. But you assume going into the year, the starters are going to be Kevin Coleman. He's going to play the slot. And coach has been raving about him and his ability. Marquise Johnson, Joshua Manning, Daniel Blood's going to get some time. Like, James Madison's got to play. He's a sophomore. Perez has got to pay. The three freshmen, we'll see. They were really high on O-Dog, but I didn't really hear much about Fulks or Terry. I guess, like, maybe they're just trying to add a little bit more of a veteran presence because it is such a young receiving core, a guy that's kind of been around the block. And if those of you who don't follow FCS football, Missouri Valley is as good, if not better, than some of these, like the MAC or some of these schools. Like, it's a conference with North Dakota State, which is a powerhouse. South Dakota State is awesome. Northern Iowa's had a lot of success. South Dakota stepped up recently and had a lot of success. It's a great conference full of a lot of really good teams. My school was in that conference for a long time before they left because they just could not compete, to be honest. So he's seen a lot. I'm really kind of hoping he doesn't play all that much. I kind of want Mizzou to play the guys that they've brought in, they've recruited and fought for, but we will see how that goes as the season progresses. If he does turn out to be a really good player and can chip in like a Kiki Chisholm did, or Toski Dove, and becomes a bigger piece than thought, then good. Like, you can't be mad about that. I just thought at this point Mizzou would be more focused on playing the guys they recruited. Speaking of other guys that took visits, Elias Rudolph from Miami apparently is going to take a visit. There is a crystal ball all ready for him. He has 4 years of eligibility. He's a really talented D-end. Even with Ja'Kai Lang leaving and some of the D-end hits they've taken, Jaylee Brown, their D-end room is still in a pretty good spot. So I think they can take a kid like this without the expectation that he has to be an impact player in 2025. Sorry, I forgot what year it was for a second. It was the Jets score. I don't think he has to play that much. He's probably not going to play that much. He's a really raw kid. I'm a little. You have spots to fill, so I understand. Like, you might as well take a talented kid. I thought their focus would be more elsewhere, particularly at D tackle and corner or offensive line, like we talked about last week. And they are going after an offensive lineman. We'll talk about that here in a second. But yeah, he's super talented. Never bad to add talent to a team that sometimes, Missouri, like, let's face it, they fight hard, they'll play hard, but they don't always have the most talent. So now you add another DN to this. If it comes true, like, again, it's just a crystal ball. You don't know, until pen meets paper, you don't really know, but I think Mizzou's in a really good spot there. Bringing him on a visit. He's got a crystal ball. So we'll see. I didn't even mention I went into visits in a potential commit, but Mizzou does pick up another tight end, Gavin Hoffman. Super talented, super freaky, athletic tight end. Was a 4-star recruit, committed to Iowa, did not play much, which isn't surprising. He was a number 1 player in the state of Iowa, or in the state of Missouri, or Kansas. Good Lord, Overland Park. I cannot talk tonight. His cousin is Mizzou, like the mayor, Sophie Cunningham. So now the Mizzou the tight end room: Jude James, Dakota Terrell, Jordan Harris, Brett Norfleet, and Vince Brown II. Yeah, he's probably going to be the backup tight end. Him and Norfleet. And Norfleet, man, like as much as I like Brett Norfleet, and I think he has all the ability in the world, he has not proven anything really yet. He's been injured a lot, and that's not his fault. That happens. I just think it's a good replacement and good fill-in if if Norfleet gets hurt again or just does not produce like we all think he can. I think it's a great pickup by Mizzou. Harris is a really good blocking tight end. We'll see what happens as the season progresses. But I mean, if you look at a depth chart right now, he's going to be second on that depth chart, and he's a dang good football player. He's a super talented football player. So I'm pretty excited for him. So speaking of offensive linemen, Jalen Early is visiting Mizzou. He is an offensive lineman from Florida State. I don't think the expectation is for him to come in and play. He really struggled at Florida State. He really, really, really struggled at Florida State. The expectation of him is come in and see what he's got. And maybe, the Florida State coaching staff obviously does some things right. Like they did go 13-0 that one year and won 10 games a year before that. So clearly, Mike Norvell and his staff at the time weren't the worst in the world. They just might be a whiff. We'll see what happens here. Mizzou gets him in. They think they can fix him or do whatever. I don't know. But that is kind of it for the transfer portal right now. Like we'll hear more names, I'm sure, and more guys will visit. I think Rudolph will commit to Mizzou here at any point. But still, speaking of the transfer portal, I wanted to touch on one more thing. We've been talking about this guy a lot. We've been covering him. We've been talking about the QB competition. So I want to talk about Sam Horn. So Sam Horn, when he committed to Mizzou, was going to play he was always going to play baseball, and he was always going to play football. He missed the 2024 season, which is why Mizzou had to go out and get Drew Pine, because he had Tommy John and he couldn't throw. It has been said and reported, and it's going to happen. He's going to pitch this season for 0-18, worst SEC baseball program maybe ever, Mizzou. He's going to pitch for him. Okay, great, because he might have a future in baseball. He has an electric arm. Obviously, he was a highly touted baseball recruit. Part of the reason he came to Mizzou is so he could play both. But I think this shows who is going to win this quarterback competition. I think it's going to be Beau Pribula. I think it obviously is going to be Beau Pribula, because you can't. If there's any chance Sam Horn is going to be the starting quarterback for the 2025 Missouri Tigers, he cannot play baseball. It just can't happen. What I'd like to see now, though, and this is going to sound a little mean, and I apologize, I would like to see Mizzou, even if it is just another Drew Pine, go out and get another quarterback for this roster. Because right now you have Beau Pribula, who likes to run the football. That's part of his game. It's a major part of his ability, is the ability to run the football. You have Sam Horn and you have Matt Zollers. You're a Sam Horn injury away during baseball. Some weird happens with his arm. And now all of a sudden you have a backup that is a true freshman coming off a pretty severe leg injury as the backup quarterback for a quarterback who likes to run the football with power. He's not a finesse runner. He's not like Lamar, where he's going to dip and dive, and he's just going to avoid contact. He is a power. He is a powerhouse runner. Like I said, we've talked about a lot about James Franklin. If you go back and watch those 2011 James Franklin highlights at the old Missouri Tigers, man, he was just running over dudes. He had a couple big runs against Texas A&M. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, so I would like to see Mizzou go out and get another quarterback. And if you're Sam Horn, like, this may just be he's a baseball guy. Like, he might have a future in baseball. Like, he seriously is really good at baseball as far as everybody knows. We haven't really seen him pitch because he's been hurt. But he's going to pitch for Mizzou baseball, and I'm pretty excited to watch him pitch, but I don't know if he's going to be what – I think if he's going to pitch for Mizzou baseball, you can't rely on him to be your quarterback. So I'm pretty sure we know that we have a quarterback for Mizzou. It's going to be Bo, which I think we all knew when he committed, but I think this kind of officially seals the deal. Hey, with a second left, the rookie. For what Mizzou is going to do at the quarterback position. You are listening to Missouri Live. My name is Zach Ramilius. You can listen to all of our shows on any podcast, anywhere you get your podcast. You can listen on Spotify. You can listen on Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. You can take a listen to us, Amazon, whatever. This is all part of Mark Rogers, the voice of college football, family of networks. That's where you can find him. You can listen to Mark every day talking about there is no off season, guys. There just isn't, especially now that we've hit the spring portal, and then you got like once the spring portal's closed, we're getting close to like all right. It's all right. When does Athlon Sports release their magazine? When does man? We're getting there. We're getting there. Just give it time. I can give you guys my calendar for sports. Like, so if you start in the fall, like college football goes all the way through December, obviously. Then you get bowl season and playoff season. But then I'm focused on college basketball and hockey, NBA a little bit. If the Suns are really good, I'll pay attention more to the NBA. Yeah, I have a Suns light right over there. If the Suns are really good, I'll pay attention to the Suns and the NBA more than I normally do. I do like the NBA. I just prefer hockey and college basketball. So you get through college basketball, you get through college. College basketball ends. You got the transfer portal right now going on in college basketball. The college basketball transfer portal is super fun. Much more fun than the football one just because there's so many guys in football and it's hard to keep track of everybody unless you're focusing on your team. And then we get into like April. You know, we're now in the later stages of April. You got the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs that are awesome. Those end. You get the college baseball and college softball World Series. Those are fun. And then you got about a month of nothing but baseball. MLB baseball. College baseball is awesome. Like, once we get to that point, man, like college football is right around the corner. We're not that far away from this thing being right around the corner. We're closer to the start of next season than we are to New Year's Day. Like, we're getting there. Like, it's been 3 months since – that's not true, actually, but it's been 3 months since the national title game, and we've got about 4 months and some change before the college football season starts. And for the Missouri Tigers, the college football season is going to start just a little bit sooner. The last few years, Mizzou has decided, I believe it was starting with the Louisiana Tech game in 2022. 2021 was Central Michigan, and that was on a Saturday. They gave up 400 yards rushing, like they did all year. Mizzou moves their opener to Thursday. Last year, 2022 was against Louisiana Tech. Last year, it was against the Murray State Racers. The year before that was South Dakota. This year, Central Arkansas will be coming to Columbia. Class, good luck to the students. The games will start on Thursday. Hey, that just means we're that much closer to Missouri Tigers football. And what I like when Mizzou does this is because I do this, obviously, but I'm a Mizzou fan. I'm going to watch the Mizzou football game. It does not matter who they're playing. If I wasn't doing this, maybe if they're winning by 45 points, like, okay, all right, I can probably change the channel. But I appreciate that they're going to murder Central Arkansas. If they don't, we've got issues. When they murder them, it's on a Thursday, and I don't remember every other game that's on that Thursday. But then Saturday, if I have to work, I probably have to work. I can sit back, I can hang out, and I can watch the gosh dang rest of the slate. I am very excited about that because I love college football, and it's very nice to be able to, this week one's a pretty good slate. I mean, I know you got Texas, Ohio State, and I'm pretty excited for all these guys. It's week one. You're always excited. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go see Sinners if you haven't seen Sinners. I've had some music stuck in my head. Let me pull up this week. I can relax now. I can watch this week one slate. You kidding me? Come on. Because Kansas State and Iowa State play that Saturday. We're 4 months away from Kansas State, Iowa State. The Farmageddon in Ireland. That's still so weird. But Thursday night, Nebraska, Cincinnati. I obviously be watching Mizzou. Boise State, South Florida is an underrated, really fun football game. And then you get into Friday, Auburn, Baylor, Georgia Tech, Colorado. Those are awesome. And then Saturday, Alabama, Florida State, LSU, Clemson, Tennessee, Syracuse, which just got a lot more interesting based on the events of the last week. Texas, Ohio State, Utah, UCLA is a fun little game. Northwestern going to Tulane's a fun. I can sit back and relax and watch the best sport on the planet until it's not, because people have to ruin it for some reason. Speaking of week one of the college football season, it is announced Lee Corso will be leaving the sport, leaving his spot on College Game Day. I have some thoughts about this. I obviously complain a lot about ESPN and their coverage of the sport of college football. I don't think they do a good job. I compare it, if you follow college basketball, you watch, I'm thinking of two guys, John Rothstein and John Fanta for college basketball. They live, breathe, and die college basketball. Everything gets them excited. From the small leagues to the big leagues, they know their stuff. They're super excited to cover it, and they know what they're talking about. Whereas I feel like a lot of the time with ESPN, if you're not one of the big programs, and at points that can include Mizzou, sometimes it doesn't, they just have they're too cool for school. We're too cool to care about these games, We're too cool to care about Illinois, Minnesota. That's going to be a Fox game, but we're too cool to care about the Sun Belt. And it just kind of drives me up a wall because there's a lot of great athletes and a lot of great stories in those conferences. Lee Corso for so long was a testament to what made ESPN great and their college football coverage great. He was kind of that guy that was always excited about the sport, and it was amazing to see his time. He should have retired 7 years ago. I understand you didn't really have a put-in replacement. They have McAfee now, which, but you didn't really have a replacement for him. I think you could have gotten someone like a Spurrier, who was still pretty young at that age. Although how would trips to Georgia for Steve Spurrier have gone? We don't really, or Tennessee, because Tennessee's been pretty good too. But I don't know, man. I think it was his time a long time ago, but Lee Corso was really one of those guys who lived, breathed, and loved college football. And you could tell it every time he was on the TV screen that this was his thing. He loved it. He had a legendary career. There was a great tweet that was man, if you would have told Lee Corso that he would have coached in college football for as long as he did, and that would not be the biggest impact he made in college basketball or college football, I don't think anybody would have believed you. But he did, man. Waking up Saturday mornings, even as ESPN got a little worse and I got a little too, I didn't really care about game day as much. I always made sure to watch Lee Corso make his picks because he just had so much energy and so much fun. Like you think of them like Bill Murray and him wrestling. You think when he yelled the F word, like that's hilarious. He put on the Mizzou head twice. I don't remember if in Oklahoma they did actually. I know in the Kansas. I'll never forget when they did Mizzou Kansas in 2007, and he puts on the Tiger head and he's like, "Boo, Kansas, Missouri, boo!" Like it was just great. Like he was a joy to watch, and really like the rest of the like. Again, I've complained a lot about Kirk Herbstreit. I think him and Lee Corso's relationship is like one of those humanizing things that we don't often see in sports media. We'll see how Kirk does without having him around. I'd be okay. Like, don't just. They're going to do something with McAfee. I assume I'd be okay if they retire the hat picks or the helmet pick. Like, do something else. Figure out something else for McAfee or whoever you have to come through. And really, like, it might be time to just kind of reboot the whole thing. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying obviously like Desmond and Kirk. Well, Kirk's going to do the main thing, and these guys have a place. And Reese Davis does a wonderful job, but Corso was kind of the heart and soul of that thing, and maybe it might be just time to reboot it a bit. Try to kind of change the layout, change the idea of it. As far as where they're going to go for the last game, oh my God, man. Like Ohio State has hosted game day so many times, and you would think that'd be a great spot for it, but I think that's big noon, which is wonderful. And like, I don't know, man. I don't think Lee's last game should be in front of an empty crowd because they're all into the stadium. Like, I really kind of hope they go to Florida State, Alabama, or I mean, that would probably be it. Maybe LSU Clemson, but it would just give them a chance to go out in front of a big crowd, the last pick. Mizzou fans should pay attention. They're probably going to go to Texas, Michigan, or Oklahoma, Michigan, especially since it's at Oklahoma. But there's a chance they come to Columbia for Mizzou, Kansas, but we'll see. Now that I think about it, there's no chance they're coming to Mizzou, Kansas. They're definitely going to Oklahoma, Michigan. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say it's like Lee Corso, like he's a legend, man. And I didn't want him off TV because like, oh my God, he's so annoying. Like when he doesn't know where he is, like he knows where he is, obviously, but like when he doesn't know kind of what he's talking about and he starts rambling. Like I didn't want him off TV because I was like, oh my God, this guy's so annoying. I just wanted him off because it was like sad to watch. And it was like watching like your favorite baseball player grow up and all of a sudden he's 37 and that curveball that won your favorite team of World Series is getting hit 500 feet every time he lobs it in there just because he has no juice to it anymore. It's good to see him go. I hope he has a great last show. I'll watch. I probably have to work, but I'll definitely have it recorded because, man, that's like a moment in college football history. Like Lee's done such an amazing job for the sport. He's been such a great ambassador for the sport, and it was time a long time ago. I know he lives down in Florida. It'd just be weird to see what this sport's going to look like without him every Saturday. It might be time to just kind of change up what they do with that time slot, but we'll see. Yeah. All right, guys, that is it for me tonight for the Voice of College Football Missouri on the Mark Rogers Family Network, Voice of College Football. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week, we will have kind of a better roundup of what Mizzou has done in the portal. We'll have some more probably news from spring, and we'll kind of. I think there's a decent chance, but this time next week, we kind of know what the Missouri football roster is going to look like, and we have kind of a general idea of what the position battles are going to be in summer and fall camps, and where Mizzou's looking. I think they should add a corner. Pride, Norwood, and the kid they brought in from Washington State, I think is a good start. I think you could really use Stephen Hall. I think you could use another corner there. I don't think you need a safety. I think Catalan, who there was a great story written in today. Marvin Burks or, Caleb Flab, whoever, and Dalen Carnell is pretty good. I think you need another D tackle, and you could use more offensive linemen. Obviously, they're looking at offensive line. They're bringing in the kid from Florida State. So thank you guys all for watching. Enjoy the NBA and NHL playoffs. We will be back next week for another episode of Missouri Tigers Live. And next week will hopefully be an explosive episode with a lot of news and a lot of talking points. But I think this week we had some good ones. And guys, we're getting close. We're getting close to like me to the point where I think most people are not like, oh, okay, I need a break. Like we're getting like, all right, we're getting there. So thank you guys so much. MIZZOU. Enjoy the week.